Do, 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 do. Right, hopefully we're up and running now. Let's get over there. Right. We shall let's go back in here and open this up. There we go. We have audio and video, my friends. We are doing very well this morning. So, what time is it? It's 5:37 a.m. here in Ireland, Limerick in Ireland. If you didn't know, my friends, yes, I reside in Ireland. So, my friends, welcome back to the channel. I hope everybody is safe and well. We've had some very warm weather here in Ireland for the last couple of weeks. Bit of a scorcher. But we had a little bit of rain last night. Not much. It's more like a drizzle, but you know, anything is better than nothing, as they say. So, my friends, what do I have for you today? Well, um, we're going to be taking a look at some mods from MyGamesteam. I'm going to show you the new official public version of the CaseIH MXM 190. So this is version 1.2 of the mod. So this is obviously a case tractor. We have some data. So we are obviously going to go in here and we're going to read off some of the the information here. So version 1.2, MyGamesteam obviously. So we have the CaseIH MXM 190. This was manufactured from 2002 to 2007, built in Basildon, England. It is considered a row crop tractor, and it's part of the Maxim series. So we have links here. Basically, you'll be able to click on these links. So Simple IC is recommended. Exhaust extension is optional. GPS is optional, and precision farming is optional. So we have the changelog here. So changelog version 1.2. Tractor specifications updated. Added exhaust extension support. Added additional wheel options. We have some very, very nice row crop tires that were added today to round off the mod. They look very, very nice. Control scheme simplified. So what we did there is stripped out a lot of the mouse controls and Xbox controller joystick controls. I wanted to simplify it. You know what I mean? This is essentially this mod is, in my opinion, is designed to be a simple IC tractor. So I wanted to eliminate all of the the controller support and mouse support in terms of opening and closing doors and that type of thing, or the hood or the bonnet, whatever. Improved decals quality, general improvements and fixes, added CB radio, added CB antenna including animation, added GPS terminal, added steering wheel knob, added additional internal cabin illumination, added front license plate plus rear license plate lights, added extinguisher and emergency hammer in cab, remapped certain files to base game assets, i3D file optimized, updated mod description to 74, XML adjustments, file structure improved, added precision farming plus GPS support, new engine option with object changes because we have the pro version of the 190 now. Added bitmaps to improve performance. So that's something that MyGamesteam is doing on all his mods in terms of the updates. Added US and EU configuration. Added side hose support. So it's quite an extensive changelog, as you can see there. Basically, the mod has been kind of gone over with a fine-tooth comb. You know, the specifications are reflective of the real-world MXM 190. You know, as I said, I downloaded PDF documents and that type of thing for the MXM 190. Sir Cecil, how are you, sir? How are things? Thank you for tuning in, my friend. I appreciate that. Hope you're doing well, sir. So yeah, this is a simple IC tractor. So you can open and close the EU warning signs. You can put up and down the buddy seat or auxiliary seat. Left and right doors open with simple IC. Interior light on off. Rear window open close with simple IC. Hood slash bonnet. Depends on where you're. I guess in the US they call it a bonnet, but over here in the UK and Ireland and Europe they'd probably call it a hood. So that's the reason for that. Rear window. Your specification, your price. Your price is 98,000. It's this is kind of an older price, I guess you could say. 50 kilometers per hour. Weight is 7.95 ton, which is real world. Diesel 398 liters. It had no DEF because it's an older tractor. So the base horsepower is 190, and the Pro version is 250. And then you have information about the shop options, and then you have basically all the credits at the bottom. So here's all your information. I would recommend people read this data here. There is some kind of important information there. Right, so we're going to primarily look at the CaseIH. As I said, this is the public version. This mod will be available later today, Saturday. So sometime Saturday morning, whenever MyGamesteam gets a chance to upload it to his website. So that's mods.mygamesteam.com. Most likely, you will see it available from the quote-unquote dodgy websites because they do tend to, take mods from all various sources. I have an updated version of the Fen Katana. We're going to take a look at that. MyGamesteam has been doing some further work, bug fixes and that type of thing. I've been privately working on the Horse Lieb. So this is a base game Giants mod. Do you remember the horse aggravation pack from FS17, and then it was put into FS19. So basically, and this is the self-propelled spare. I've been doing a lot of work in this thing. This is kind of my next project, I think. And I've been doing a lot to it. So we are going to go in-game, and we're going to make sure that everything is enabled. So the new DLC is out on Tuesday. Farmer Klein, DJ Goham, Tony Myth, and various Virtual Farmer, the usual suspects have all been previewing that Hay and Forage DLC. I'm fine with it. I don't have any major negative things to say about that DLC. I think the price for what you get, 17 vehicles, the price at $10 is fine. And of course, if you got it early, you got it for $9. For $9, I think it's absolutely fine. Right, I'm going to get rid of some stuff here. Let's kind of start from scratch. So we are at the night time because there's some things I want to show you. Now, I'm going to give you a quick look at the Fent Katana. So this is a beta build. It's not done, right? So MyGamesteam did some additional work. He put some fixes. But unfortunately, he has introduced a new quote-unquote issue, and I'll show you it. Now, I've made him aware of this, and he will fix it. But, I always believe in showing progress, but also, errors or issues, bugs, whatever. Right. So let me show you what's going on. Look at that, look. See the way it's jumping forward and the wheels, look? See that, look? So this thing is bugged, right? Now, I don't know what's causing this yet. So MyGamesteam will have to look at that and to see what's doing that. It's only in the shop though, which is the weird thing. But it shouldn't be doing this, basically, Right. So, and it's raised off the ground as well. You see one of the wheels are raised off the ground, look. So it's not flat on the ground. So that could be like the shop translation or something. It could be something in the XML or something was slightly, moved around in the i3D file or something. But anyways, we'll get that fixed, right? So this is kind of the, let me check the log here to see if there's any errors. There isn't. So I want to show you the new thing that MyGamesteam built into the mod. I need a nice dark area. I need a nice dark spot to kind of show this off. Oh, that is bad driving, my friends. Bad driving. Holy buckets. Right, so where am I? Right, so let me let me go to the opposite side here. So, if you see my previous streams, you know that this is simple IC functionality, right? I've added something new here, right? So this is kind of a placeholder thing. Look. So if we look down there, my friends, we have a canister. So that would hold like diesel or DEF, you know. So what will happen is on the opposite side here, there will be a toolbox or something in there, or batteries, you know. So these are storage compartments. These are based on the real world. These are going to be shop options, so you'll be able to select what to be able to, put in here, that type of thing, you know. So these are, they're just kind of placeholdered at the moment. So eventually MyGamesteam is going to be adding sounds associated with these, animations, closing and closing. I did something as a test on the rear door here. I don't know if this is going to work. For that DLC, I would not be surprised to see modder use the hill leveling system on harvesters. Yeah, when it's released. I mean, that leveling system is locked behind. Excuse me, is encrypted at the moment. I mean, that's not to stop people from hacking that DLC. I mean, all the DLCs so far have been hacked. For example, very recently, one of the the Volvo L120H, that wheel loader. So that was hacked recently from the Platinum DLC. Now I did take a look at it. It's fascinating to see what's in there from a modder's perspective. Those files are very, very interesting. But anyways, right, so MyGamesteam, he's moved the ICX up here, right? Now, I tried something. I don't know if this is going to work. It does. That awesome. So basically, I've added a very, very temporary sound file just to, give you an idea of what we'll be going for. See that? Now, that sound scheme is only temporary, but, it'll have its own custom sound for the opening and closing animation. But I just wanted to test it out just to show you guys what what it might sound like or what's possible. Okay. Right, so there's no sound on the side panels. So I guess what I'm going to show you now is the new thing that we have implemented in this version. Watch this. Look at this, my friends. Look. So the just like the real world Fendt Katana, this vehicle now has internal cabin or engine illumination. Look, that awesome. And if you look down the bottom, my friends, so this was very, very important. Look, the light does not reflect on the ground, right? So that was essential that we did that. We had to tailor the shape of the light node for it to only illuminate, the internal engine compartment, right? So there's a couple lights in here. There's one up here, look, and there's another one here, right? So there's two light nodes, light sources in here, and that is what's illuminating the engine. Look. So if I go to the opposite side as well, so I'll open up these panels as well, and I open up this one. So that is that's kind of a preview of what is kind of going to be happening with the Fendt Katana here. MyGamesteam has now added this piece up here, this piston piece. Look, So that in the real world, there's a pistol piece up here that, you know, opens and closes the door. Now, in the real world as well, and I don't know if MyGamesteam is going to be able to do it. I'm gonna try and see can I get him right. So in the real world, the outside of the door is painted Fent green, but in the inside of the door, it's painted like this color here. See this kind of gray, that type of color. So what I'm saying is, you know, the outside and the inside of the doors are different colors. You know, they're not painted. I mean, why would you want to? You know what I mean? You're just wasting paint because you're never going to see it. Like, so basically, I'm gonna ask him to see can he paint the inside of the doors a different color to the outside. All the colors in here in terms of the engine, you know, the internal engine, all need to be painted up and everything. Now we're going to go back to the daytime again because, you know, it's not great for people to. So there you go. Yeah. I've been trying to get this shade of grey. So I have pictures of the real world Fent Katana. You know, I've been watching a lot of you know, YouTube videos and taking screen captures and stuff. So I've got a lot of you know, screenshots and everything of the internal engine and what it looks like. You know what I mean? So we're going to try and match the colors as best we can to the real world Fent Katana. All right. So that's kind of that. We've added another feature here. So this is based on the real world vehicle as well. So this is a simple IC functionality. So this is a maintenance panel, right? So you see there. So in the real world, what you can do is see this entire section here. You can actually take this off in the real world for maintenance purposes. But one of the first steps of the maintenance process is actually taking off this front panel here. So I've asked MyGamesteam to do that, and you can see the PTO inside, right? Now it's non-functional, you know. It's just a kind of a I don't know. I think it adds a little bit more realism to, you know, the real world Fent Katana. So the engine is fully animated. So the fan spins, all the pulleys. So we have 16 animated pulleys. The fan is animated, and we have 3 belts that are animated. So I think there's something going on with the wheels. I'm not quite sure what has happened, but there's something different about the wheels than there was previously. You know what I mean? So anyway, I've made MyGamesteam aware of it. You know, there's some weirdness has been introduced in the latest kind of beta build, and he'll have to, you know, take a look at that and stuff. So yeah, so eventually all these panels here will have their own sound schemes, you know, for the animations. I moved the position of the warning triangle here. We're going to be making a US and an EU configuration of this thing eventually. So once again, you can see the piston pieces. There's a lot of work to do inside here, you know, internally in the engine compartment. I have added preliminary support for passenger. You know, the passenger seat for Kubota. I've added all the kind of the i3D stuff and the scripting for it. But I need MyGamesteam to take a look at it first. But yeah, we're going to be adding Kubota passenger seat support. We're not going to be doing anything with the buddy seat in terms of you know, IC or anything. So the steering column goes up and down. Look. So yeah, there's work to do inside as well. You know, we're going to be doing a lot of work in cab and changing up things as well. So that's kind of where we are with the you know, the Fent Katana. Right, there's a lot of work to do in this thing yet, but we're making good progress. I was thinking about, so in the real world, my friends, As you know, Kemper have headers. Um, there's a 490 plus of this header. You know, I was thinking of maybe adjusting the decals on this thing, right? And just basically rebranding it to a Kemper 490. See how this hooks up here. Oh, we have a collision. I think we found the problem. We found the problem. There's a collision. Look. So I wonder if the simple IC is adding some kind of invisible collision. Look, I can't hook up. Oh, that's what's causing the problem. There's some weird collision issue there on the front. Look. I wonder why that is. Wonder what happens if I take off this. Yeah, we have a problem there, Houston. So that's what it is. It's got to be the simple IC that's causing it. Okay, now we know. I must take a screen capture of this, so MyGamesteam will know. Let me just take a screenshot of that there. Right, so that's what's causing the problem. Some kind of weird collision issue on the front. Right, so let's move on, shall we? We're going to take a little bit of a look on the horse sleeve. I've been doing a lot of work on this thing as well. The log is clean on this one as well. So you know, if you were this was a Giants mod, right? So basically, don't need any permissions. It was in FS17. It was brought forward to FS19. Converted then to FS22. I've been doing work in this thing. I have been adding. So I added license plate nodes. I added some decals. I added some more wheel options. I've been changing up the XML. I've added some shop options. I've added accurate specifications in terms of the you know, the working speed, that type of thing. So the working speed now is set to 12 mph, whereas Giants had it set to 7, which is way too slow. So we have wheel options. We have Trelleborg. We have narrow. And we have a narrow too, so slightly wider track there, I guess. We have Michelin, and then we have Redstein. We may add more wheel options as we go along. Beacon lights, you have left, you have right, and you have both. Right, so you can do that. Speed sign. So this thing goes at 60 kph or 37 mph. You can put a speed sign on the back here. GPS, because you know I have GPS installed, so that's kind of why that is there. So license plates, you have a license plate at the rear and you have a license plate at the front now as well. So I added those in. So I've been attempting to add sound schemes for the ladder folding, you know, that type of thing. It's not perfect. These are all kind of just temporarily placed. So if we get some like fertilizer, so 5,000 liter capacity. So you know it's a self-propelled sprayer, 36 meters. I'm gonna bring this up to FS22 standards, so it'll be precision farming ready. It will be variable width ready, and ground adaptation, that type of thing. So I've built in a lot of the scripting into the mod, but it needs to be worked on by MyGamesteam. So these boom arms, all the animation sounds need to be put in for these. Right, so they're not really in at the moment. So none of the timings match up. Oh dear. I do apologize. If you, Russian, I think. Hermatilla. I do apologize if I have butchered your name. We are an English only, English language stream, so I do apologize, sir, or ma'am, whatever the case may be. So yeah, the sound scheme for the boom arms are not done right. You know what I mean? The timings aren't right. It's just placeholder stuff at the moment. You know, you want a sound scheme for the wheels going in and out, you know, the boom arms extending. So you do have a mouse control option to, you know, raise and lower this boom arm as well, you know. So, you know, herbicide and liquid fertilizer. Alright. So, you know, what I want to do is I want to, you know, add all of the modern, you know, precision farming, variable width, you know, just bring it all up to date. Another issue I've found with this mod is when I fold the arms and the sprayer's on. Now, other mods, when you fold the boom arms, the sprayer will stop. But look what happens in this one. So clearly that's not right. It shouldn't do that. Right, so that needs to be fixed. You know what I mean? Internally, I've added some stuff in cab as well. I've added a second monitor here, right? And I've also added the monitor screens on off. You know, the visual of it. Look, so they turn on and off. So yeah, this is a horse terminal. I've added a second terminal in here. I've been doing work on the making sure the dashboard display is reading out properly, you know, for FS22. I made some adjustments on the mirrors because the decals weren't quite correct. So we have the horse logo here. So, you know, a lot of the I've got a lot of ideas for this thing. I think it'd be a very nice mod to you know, to put it out as a MyGamesteam mod. So for example, what I want to do here is, we see the front here. See the way this mesh area here is not transparent? Basically, I want MyGamesteam to remove this entire mesh area and make them transparent. You know the way the let me give you an example. Let's say the Berthoud here. So the Berthoud, its mesh is, you know, is transparent and you can see the engine inside, you know. Yeah, so you have to update them to, you know, it is a 17 mod, so it does need to be updated. So I want the transparent mesh on the horse, and I want the engine inside. What we'll probably do is we'll use the base game Berthoud for guidance and assets, you know what I mean. For example, we might take the engine from the Berthoud here and put it into the horse, you know, that type of thing. And we'll find some kind of mesh grid pattern for the front here, you know, to make it look nice. So in the real world as well, there are two, so there's two doors here, look, one here, one here. So these open in the real world. So if I can convince MyGamesteam to take this on as the next project, he could take these apart in Blender, right? And it will be like a simple IC animation. You walk up to it and you'll press the X, and you know the doors will open and there'll be stuff inside, you know, that type of thing. So yeah, you know, I think there's a lot of potential for this mod in terms of, you know, modernizing it and updating it to, you know, FS22 standards. And basically everything kind of works in this thing. You know, all the usual bells and whistles. The lights are all done. The reflectors, you know, everything is there more or less, you know. Even in this kind of condition, it's done pretty damn well, you know. But obviously, I think it can improve a lot more than what it is currently. Right, so I guess you want to look at. So let's take a look at the public version of the CaseIH, the MXM 190. So there's your log. Okay, log is clean. So base tractor is 190 horsepower, 398 liters, 30 mph, 8 tons. Okay, so you have options. You have 3 points. You have front weight options from 360 kilogram, 560, 760, 1010, 1220, and then the maximum is 1460. Right. Okay. So if you go down here, if you put on the front weight on this mod, right, the front loader attacher does not show up. That's intentional. So if you select the 3-point option and move down, you will actually see the front loader attacher option is there now. That's a stalled front loader attacher. Right. Now, if I put on the weight again, just to show you, see the way it disappears? All right, so just to be aware of that, it does actually disappear, but that's intentional. So the engine setup, we have the 190 MXM 190, and then we have the Pro version, which is 250. All right, so it's much faster. It's 42 mph, much more powerful torque scale. Trelleborg. Now, I'm not going to go through every wheel option. I'm just going to show you the new stuff that we added today. You know, you have wheel weights, wide tires plus weights, wide 2 plus weights. So we have the narrow tires. All right, let me show you the back here. Narrow tires. We have narrow twins, so that was newly added, and then we have a narrow row crop. Right, so it's slightly wider, as you can see. Look, so that's kind of the new one there. All right. The beacon lights, so I think pretty much all of these shop options have not changed. You have left, right, both, and then none. So the beacon lights, you can choose from 4 different designs for the beacon lights, obviously. You know, the usual stuff. The roof lights on. Ear horn. Side warning signs. You have the EU configuration and the US configuration. Let's get both. So this is precision farming and GPS support ready. Okay, so that's your sensors there. GPS, obviously. So it puts a terminal in cab. It puts the GPS terminal on the back as well. Okay. Main colors. Everything, you know, the usual stuff that one would expect, you know. Exhaust colors, you can change up the exhaust colors as well. Look, like a chrome and a silver scratch and a galvan, you know, the usual stuff. There's nothing revolutionary here in terms of, you know, options. Rim colors, you know, the usual stuff again. So let's just go with that, right? Okay. So we'll put it back to that, put it back to that, and then we'll get some other color. I don't know about that one. Let's get that one, right? And then we'll put the EU version on it. Did I select the EU or the US? I can't remember. So here's your dual row crops with your front weight. So you might notice here there is there's an antenna, if I can speak properly. So that antenna at the side has an animation as well, so it moves with the the tractor, wobbles around, and it's kind of based on the real world MXM 190 as well, you know. So like in cab, I'll show you the IC functionality. again, you know. So the rear window, there are sounds associated with all these animations. You have the armrests, so both armrests, so the left and right armrests both go up and down with one action. You have the buddy seat or the auxiliary seat, you can move that up and down. Okay. You have the left and right door. Okay. You have the warning signs. So you can put the warning signs in and out from the you know, the IC function. There they are there, look. Okay. So that gives you an idea of that. We have the internal light. So on and off. So here's your terminal or monitor. You have a CB radio up here. So we did quite a bit of work in the internals. We've added an emergency hammer. Behind the seat here there is a fire extinguisher. Right. A couple of safety features, I guess. If you want to open the engine, you can just press one button, which is open cover. So the control schemes are very more simplified than they were previous. You know, took out all the complicated stuff. You know, the mouse controls and the Xbox controller stuff. You know, thumbsticks. Took all that stuff out. It's all very simple now. Okay, so that's your EU config. Here's your US config. So your flashers for your US config. Excuse me. Go left and right, you know, the usual stuff. So there's a lot of flashes on this thing. So once again, you have the internals. If I turn off the engine, you can kind of see what happens inside. So the light for the CB radio and the GPS terminal come on. Here's your internal dash. Cleaned up the dash to make sure, you know, the better quality of it. Everything is animated in here. Seat suspension, pedals, you know, all the usual bells and whistles that one would expect. So here's your row crops, 42 mph. She is a fast boy. So that's kind of what she looks like inside. Highly detailed 3D model. So if I get it once again, I'm just going to get kind of the base standard version because I want to show you. So once again, if I get the Coon, so this is the front tank, put the front weight in it. I recommend you put the front weight on the Coon tank, and there's the rear one. So we've tuned the weight of this tractor to work with these two pieces of equipment, because once you add the front tank and then the rear implement, you get that side hose support. So this is custom. I showed this off before. So we've kind of designed this tractor to kind of work with this side hose pipe system here. And you can kind of, you know, you can seed your fields or whatever. So you'll obviously fill up the front tank with seed. So 42 mph on the Pro version, 30 mph on the standard version. And that's kind of what she looks like, my friends. So yeah, that's I've done a more in-depth kind of look at the CaseIH here previously. So as I said, this is going to be publicly available later today, Saturday. It's for PC only. I recommend, as I said, Simple IC because it does have a lot of IC functionality. Alright, so get yourself a copy of Simple IC. The mod will have a link to where you can download Simple IC, download the zip file. And yeah, that's going to be that's the next mod from MyGamesteam. So that's mods.mygamesteam.com. Yeah, the log is clean on this thing. You know, we check these things out with a fine-tooth comb before we make them public or anything. Added some new decals here. So we have a new decal on the oil filters. So there's that's a new thing that we kind of added in the kind of the public build here. There's a couple more here as well. Look, these are genuine ADCO or CaseIH Case New Holland oil filter logos. So we added that in as well. And I think it's a very, very nice, high quality mod for PC. You know, we've done a lot of work in it, done a lot of updating, a lot of refining, a lot of bug fixes, and I think it's going to be really, really high quality mod. You know, it's been brought up to a very, very high standard now, in my opinion. You know, so yeah, there you go, my friends. That's a bit of a short one from me. So I've just got, you know, just the 3 mods to kind of show off. You know, and hopefully you guys will enjoy the new CaseIH here. So my friends, I'm going to end the stream there. A bit of a short one for me, you know. I'm going to say thank you all very much for tuning in. I appreciate it. And God willing, we shall see you again in the next stream. Take care. Bye-bye.